I dedicate the news channel for America, the cable news network.
Niagara Falls, Paris, Tulsa, Denver, London, Canton, Newark, Peking, Orleans, San Diego, Reno, Nicaragua, San Francisco, Seoul, Perth, the Marianne.
Stand by, ready, 3, take 3, Mike Hewer. 3, start a slow zoom in a little bit. Roll tape, take 3.
Good evening, I'm David Walker.
And I'm Lois Hart. Now here's the news.
Welcome to our bureau in downtown Dallas.
Welcome to California.
I'm Mark Walton.
This is Bob Berkowitz.
I'm Kirsten Lindquist.
I'm Mary Alice Williams, New York Bureau Chief for the Cable News Network.
This is Bernard Shaw in our Cable News Washington Bureau.
To me, the idea of a 24-hour-a-day all-news television network was the consummate challenge, the ultimate challenge.
The General has been reappointed to a new 2-year term.
When I decided to leave ABC News, they said, "Where are you going?" "I'm going to work for CNN." People were laughing at me. Why would you go to CNN after all the dues paying you've done, after what you've accomplished?
Hello, we continue on the news channel. I'm Lou Waters.
And I'm Renelle Muse.
President Carter.
How would you like to come to Atlanta and work for a news network at very little money, extremely long hours with no guarantee of success? And I said, perfect, that's for me.
This is the first day for the Cable News Network, and we thought you might like to see where we live and some of our facilities. So here's a tour of CNN.
It's here in master control that the signals from all of those dishes become...
The newsroom was going to be wide open, totally open. We wanted everything to hang out. We wanted to show every person doing every job. We wanted to show every mistake, everything raw. We wanted the people to live in our newsroom.
There's something behind me that is very new and unique to us, right?
It is new. As a matter of fact, this is one of the only ones in the country that will operate this way. Now, everything was going to be off the computers. Everything we had was first-time stuff. It had never been tested in any other markets.
This is A Control, where all of our directors and our producers sit to make our newscasts, our tape reports.
There's been talk of a backstage effort.
It was exciting. It was very exciting. It was doing something that had never been done before, and for a long, long time, not sure we would ever be able to do it.
The man in charge here is Ted Kavanaugh. Ted, I'm sorry, excuse me. How do you put it together here?
Tell me, we have a pool of producers here. Each one does 2-hour shows.
They had budgeted for too few people. So I said, hey, let's do this. Let's go to the colleges and grab kids who were in TV classes there, and we'll teach them how to use this equipment and everything else.
They put us through something called CNN College, which was in a hotel room nearby. And they talked to us about the philosophy, and they would talk to us about news stories.
People were from all over, geographically. Some were Ivy League, some were from the South.
I saw a full-page ad in Time magazine, and it just looked like a dream come true for someone who wanted to be in television news.
What I was drawn to, and what many of us were drawn to CNN, was by the prospect of being able to do many things and being allowed the opportunity to pursue what it is that you wanted to do in broadcasting.
Ready, camera 1. 2, 1.
Cue 'em.
We learned all the equipment as it was being put in. As soon as something was up and running, we were on it, learning it.
I had no experience in TV. I had no experience running technical equipment, field equipment for sound. They gave me the manual. They said, read it tonight. If you have questions, ask them tomorrow before you get on the plane.
My first job at CNN was lay computer cable under the false floor that we had built at CNN. And we were crawling around on our hands and knees with coat hangers pulling this blue computer cable through the false floors. And I thought, is this what I went to journalism school to do? I don't think so.
In the beginning, I was doing 25 things. I think that escalated to 40 things. Everybody at the beginning of CNN, it was beyond being a jack of all trades. You had to be a jack, queen, king.
Hardly a week went by when you didn't work 60 or 70 hours.
What was scary was the fact that 1050 Techwood, where the original studios were being built, no one knew if it would be ready by June 1st. Ted believed and the top guys believed, but we'd kind of go in and peek around, and boy, it was getting close.
People would be on the set, and there would be hammers and things going in the background, and pieces of the set falling here and there.
Our Day Watch experts on teenagers are appropriately enough, we think, teenagers.
We were rehearsing constantly. How are we going to make this transition in the switches from the anchors in Washington to the anchors in Atlanta and what have you.
We could not get one show to follow another. Shows were crashing, shows weren't getting done.
Oh, Flip, you're on.
Works better when we wear this.
Nobody thought it was going to work. I thought it was going to be a part-time job until I could get on with ABC Sports.
We were getting the New York Times, Wall Street Journal telling us every day we worked. Can't work. It's not viable.
Ted Turner in the early days would just walk through the Washington Bureau, not wanting to get in the way, but just to rally the troops and cheer them up.
He was roaming the halls going, "This is going to be great. We're going to save the world." And I said, "Hey, this is fun."
We all moved to Atlanta, where the majority of us knew no one. So we became each other's best friends, as well as people we worked with.
We had a lot of parties in the beginning. We'd all go rafting on the Chattahoochee River, or we'd get together and you know, all go to dinner somewhere.
In lieu of pay, you got to meet people who you might want to date. I've met my wife here. You know, who else could you find to date who was working such strange hours? I mean, who else wanted to go out for dinner at 3 in the morning?
That's what gave all of us sort of this inspiration, was each other. We were the underdog, and we were the fledgling, and a lot of people would make fun of us.
As you know, we were known as the Chicken Noodle Network for quite a spell, and that probably had to do with many of our glitches.
Goodbye, Lou.
Hello? You would always have tapes not making their slot.
Well, that does not appear to be the right tape. We will be seeing. Are we going to be trying to find Dick Maurice?
And anchors reading to the wrong camera.
Continental balloon flight in history. You lied. See, you said it was going to be over at 3.
And audio mess-ups.
Now we'll turn to CNN's Washington correspondent, Bernard Shaw, for the latest news from our nation's capital. Bernie?
It was like being in a college television station for the first 6 months. It really was.
And we're going to get you a picture of the national weather scene in just a moment. Here it comes. It looks as... No, this is my first day. I suppose I'm lucky I'm still alive. But we made it through the broadcast, I think. The weather's going to be nice. And Dave, help.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Those things can, they've gobbled up more good weather people in the past few months here. But
I remember distinctly working on the weekends on a Saturday trying to produce a television show. But above us at Techwood was TBS, and every Saturday morning they'd have wrestling.
Bell sounds and we are ready.
So you'd be trying to do your news show, and there would be your anchor trying to read the news, and up above were the wrestlers, so they'd be sitting there going, 14 died in a plane crash. The ceiling would rumble, and, you know, the anchor would just look up and keep reading.
I do remember one time when a tape didn't show up, I knew it, and I was just ad-libbing all over the place. I felt like Fred Astaire doing a dance number, and the director got into my ear and said, ad-lib.
But I am stretching. This is how I do it. I guess Dr. Herb Tanzer isn't ready yet, but he's...
And I acknowledged that I had just been told to ad-lib until they got the tape. I felt, let the audience in on what's going on.
Are we ready? We don't even have it.
I found out later that the audience loved it. They loved seeing us in trouble.
Night, I'm Lou Waters.
And I'm Kathleen Sullivan. Thank you for joining us, and we'll get better by the end of the week.
Within a month of going on the air, June 1st, 1980, here this network was in Detroit covering a Republican National Convention. And then the following month, the Democratic National Convention. So we were under horrific strains, all kinds of pressures, and we managed to get through.
You can depend on us being here all the time. And please, pass the word.